Hey everybody, it's Blando here. Just a quick video to kind of give everyone a tutorial or a walkthrough on how to do this current Burning Zephyr event, the Corsair's Fortune. So as you can see here on my screen, I have just a document pulled up here just to kind of give everyone a breakdown of exactly what's needed for this. So you'll need 6,300 of the total of the water diamonds, which are the kind of diamond-looking blue things. And then 3,000 total of the water shells, which are kind of like the little egg-looking things. They're actually the gilded jades, but they're in blue instead of the original color. So anyway, you need 300 in total for the T1 armor, ring, and amulet. So you need all three. Those are all in the limited shop. So just go to the limited shop, and they're on the far right-hand side, right by the exchanger for getting the exclusive material to exchange out for the regular seasonal material. So they're on the right-hand side. So buy one of those. Of each of those, so that's 1, 2, 300, and then you'll need 3,000 more for the Burning Zephyr Armor, which is Air Spirit Dragon Forged. So you'll be able to see that in just a second when I go into the game. Those are the boosters. Basically you boost up the armor, tier up the armor with, and you'll also need 3,000 in total for the ring and amulet set. So 250 times 6, as you can see right here, for the ring, which is called the Minor Ringle. It's water, so just do a search for water and then flip order, which I'll show you again in just a second. And then the same thing for the minor talisman, which is the amulet. You just flip the order and select water. So pretty easy to filter for those, as well as the armor for the armor itself. And then next, when you go into the final tiers of them, which is the tier 8 through 10, you'll need 3 more of the major Zephyr armors, which is fire and water, also dragon forged. I'll show you that in just a minute as well. You'll need 3 of those, so you'll need to craft all of these, by the way. With the exception of the first 3 you'll get from the limited shop, you craft all the rest of these. They take 10 minutes apiece on a base armor smith, but if you have the maxed armor smith, it's I think 9 minutes, something like that. So I usually just craft 3 at a time, so 3 armors, then wait for 10 minutes, 3 armors more, and then wait for 10 minutes, then 3 rings, etc. until you're done. And then when you're done with that, you move over to the majors and you do the same process, so 3 rings, 3 amulets, 3 armors. So, and then finally at the bottom here, sorry, I kind of switched tracks there, 1,500 total of the water shells for the ring and amulet boosters as well, which are both called major as well, so major ringle and major talisman, those are the boosters. So just wanted to kind of give you a graphical representation of that so you can see kind of what total you would need to do everything. So my good friend Rush has lent me her account for the evening to kind of go through this process. So as I said, you can see here I'm logged in on my emulator here, which is Nox. If you filter here at the top for Dragon Forged and hit done, for most people on global, that's all it's going to show, except for maybe like a few handfuls of other ones here on the far right, which you don't really need to worry about other than maybe the Epic Boss upgrade if you're doing that as well. But generally you should only see this one here, which is the minor, and then you'll see this one here, which is the major. So you'll do 6 of the minor and then 3 of the major. So you'll need 9 in total. Then when you go over to your rings, you'll hit water and then flip the order, and you'll see them here at the bottom end. So the minor right here on the left, you'll need 6 of those, and 3 of the majors. Same thing with the amulets. Hit amulets, water, flip order. There's the amulets for the major and the minor, all right there. So I already crafted all of this ahead of time, so I wouldn't have to go through that and wait for that for the entire video. But the only thing I haven't done at this point is to go into the limited shop. Oh, you goofy thing. It's just my emulators being goofy. So you go into the limited shop here, and on the far right-hand side, you'll see we have the ring, the amulet, and the armor. So I'm going to purchase the armor. That's 100 apiece. And then once it's done, hit OK. Go back over here, hit the ring, purchase, and OK. And lastly, the amulet, purchase, and OK. That's it. So now you have all 3. So now at this point, everything else is just combining. So combine the T1 with the T1 armor with the Burning Zephyr. You do that 6 times in total. Same thing with the ring and amulet set. Then you move over to the major versions and you do it 3 more times. So we're going to do that on video so you can kind of all see it in play here. So we're going to combine armors. We're going to select over here, we're going to select water and water, which of course she has the exclusive here, but we're going to move over to the right. Actually, it looks like we bought 2 of them on accident. Whoops. So there's 1. We're going to say yes. We're going to click on that. The very first thing you're going to see when you click on the next armor, you should only see this. So you should only see that one there, and you'll do this 6 times, as I said. And then the next time, if I were to go over to here to the right, which actually would probably be easier if I just did this, you'll notice I can't combine it with the other one over here on the far right, which is the major, because I haven't got it to T7 yet. So we'll just move back over to the left. So we're going to do 1, combine, okay. And let that process. Now we have T2. Later, and then we're going to do it again, go back into here. This is the way that I found is the easiest way to do it. Scroll to the right, there's my T2. I don't want to mess with the other one. I don't want to accidentally click on that one, so I'm making sure I'm watching what I'm doing. So there's T2 with the same miner as well. Let that go through, and since this update, everything is just slow as molasses. It just takes forever. And then go back to here again, set it to water and water. There's my T3. And there's number 3 now. So there's tier 4. And again, water, water. Just makes things faster, because then you only have to scroll a little bit. T4. And now we're going to have the T5. 2 more times I'll have the T7, then we switch to the major. And then we just repeat the process with the rings and then the amulets. And that's it. Okay, there's that one. And now we go back to here again. And we say number T5 here. Number T5. Duh. And there is T6. And this just takes a few seconds each time. So once you've got all the necessary materials, it just takes a few minutes. After crafting, of course. Because that's what takes the most time. I think in total you're looking at about an hour worth of total crafting time. Because it's 9 minutes each. Well, actually, maybe not an hour. Close to an hour, I guess. But it still takes a bit just to wait for it all to finish. But you can always just set it crafting and then go hitting the raid. So there's T6. And we combine again. And there's T7. Now, the one thing I also wanted to mention while this is going, the armor tier and the ring and amulet tier do matter. With the ring and amulet sets for the epic boss armors, it doesn't matter. You can have tier 5 of the armor and then the ring and amulet sets still work. But with this armor, it is tier specific, meaning you have to have the ring and amulet set to the same tier that you have the armor, or it will not work. So, there's T7. So that's the last of the miners for the armor. So now we'll go back into here again, hit water and water again, and now we should only see the T7 there, which actually really quick, bear with me for a moment, I'm going to take a note of this, because I was actually trying to write up the wiki page on this, and I didn't have the tier 7 stats, so bear with me for just a quick second here while I write this down before I move on. Because that's the only one I was missing was tier 7's base stats. So that is 5383. Guess I could just look at the video after I've recorded it. Duh. Anyway, that's fine. Just takes me a second. Okay. So now we're going to take tier 7. And now when we select armor, it's only going to show us the major, which is what we would expect to see. So we do this now 3 times, combine. That's of course going to take its own sweet time. There's tier 8. And again we hit here and go water, water. There's tier 8. There's the major again. We have one more to do and now we're at tier 10. Then we just have to repeat the process for the rings and amulets and we'll be done. So this won't be a long video by any means. I think we're currently just almost to 10 minutes now. So this is not going to take long by any means. So do another one here. Water and water. And as you tier it up, it'll start moving farther and farther to the left because it will get stronger and stronger. So this is the final one. At least it should be. We should be at tier 10 now. And there we are. There's the tier 10 armor. So now if I go into here and I just go back into here to enhance, and I just change this just so we can see it here. There it is. So there's the tier 10 armor. Base stats, max stats. Really not bad, honestly, for a relatively free armor. It's really not bad all in all, but you'll notice that the ring and amulet set are not showing up yet because I haven't done them yet. So the armor is now at tier 10, and there's, you can see the ring and amulet set bonus. So now we're going to repeat the process. We're going to combine the rings now. So I hit ring. Whoops, sorry, ring. What am I doing? Ring. There we go. And we hit water. We have to scroll a bit because this is not one you can easily filter, unfortunately. But it's going to be more toward the right. Oops, I almost passed it. Looks like I did already have a set of those as well. Oops, I probably bought them twice. Sorry, Rush. It's only 100 apiece, so it's not too big of a deal. So we hit water ring, and then we hit here, and the first thing that's going to pop up, of course, is the major or the minor here. If I scroll to the right and I look for the other ones, they're not even going to be displayed here, I don't think. Maybe they will, but anyway, I'll have the same process going through this now. So I'm just going to combine them two, and I'm going to go through the whole process and get it all the way up to tier 10, and then we should be in good shape. Ring, water. I hate when it does this. One of those goofy things. I'm going to exit all the way back out again. Combine. Ring, ring, water. I'm just going to scroll. Rather than mess with it, I'm just going to scroll. It'll be easier rather than trying to mess myself up. So there's tier 2 ring. Now you'll notice, by the way, before I move on, the ring and amulet stats, in fact, do not change. They're actually the same stats from start to finish. So the tier 2 stats, that's the same stats regardless. And the amulet's the same way. But in order for it to work with the set bonus, it does have to be tiered up. So there's that one. Then we have the only one available. Combine that. We do this process, like I said, 6 times for the minor and then 3 times for the major. And then we repeat the process on the amulet. And we'll be in good shape. And as I said before, as you tier it up, it's not going to change position in this one because it doesn't actually change the stats of the armor overall, or the ring, sorry, overall. It will just basically change it to where it's tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, etc., all the way up to the top of tier 10. So that's how that goes. And there's tier 4. The rings and water, brain cramp, tier 4. Now we have tier 5. Back to the ring again. Tier 5. And there's tier 6. Sorry, I'm hitting in the raid as we speak. Just got to get it started and then I can let it go. Okay, now we have the... Oops, didn't want to do that. Now we have the tier 6. And the last one on this one is now going to be the tier 7. And that's our tier 7 for the ring. And then we move on to the major versions and repeat the process until that's done. Then we move to the amulet and just start from scratch. And I will be leveling these up, by the way, on this video, so you'll be able to kind of see them as I go. It's not going to be, I'm not going to enhance them beyond the level 99 at this point, but it'll be up to that level 99 point. So now we're on to the major. As you can see here, it automatically switches to major, so we're on major 1 of 3. Hit there, combine. I just hit water out of habit just to makes it easier to filter through because there's not as much to sort. There's T8. And now we're coming up on tier 9. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Wrong button, my mistake. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, moving over here, we have tier 9, and the last, but not least, of the rings will bring us up to tier 10. Now, I did hear from one of my fellow players on Android Global that the amulet did not want to go up to tier 10. Like, she'd go to combine it, and then the amulet just wasn't appearing to combine with. So if I go back to here now and I hit the ring, scroll back to the left until I get to it, which is right there. Now I have the ring at T10. Now, if I hit the little guy here and go to it, you'll now see the tier 10 matches with the armor. So we're part way there. Well, halfway there, I guess, in that respect. So we're now going to combine amulets. And again, we're going to hit water. Scroll over. Going to take a bit. There it is. There's T2. And I did purchase one of each twice. Oops. So I may have accidentally done it before when I started because I got all this, as I said, crafted ahead of time. And I may have bought them on accident in the beginning and forgot I did. Anyway, so there's tier 2. Scroll a bit until I get to it. Here's tier 2. And now we have tier 3. 3, combining over here with tier 4. And by the way, for anyone who's curious, the lag that's on Android Global has already been reported. Hopefully they fix it soon. It's very irritating, but anyway, back to the topic at hand. Okay, so there is T4, T5. That bumps us up to halfway there, relatively. Got so accustomed to hitting flip order when I was crafting, I don't need to keep hitting it. And you'll notice the numbers and stuff on the screen. That's just little shortcuts from my keyboard when I'm hitting on my alternate accounts that I have on my emulator. I just hit 1 for slot 1 for the raid, number 2, 3, 4, 5. It just saves me time. So those little numbers you can see here, I can just hit spacebar, M, N, you know, whatever, just to save myself the trouble of having to click. So just a little bit of a faster way of doing things rather than having to click, 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 click. I can just hit 1, M, you know, space. That's it. So it's the same basic concept. I'm not actually shortcutting anything per se. I'm just, instead of going click, 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 I'm just going 1, 2, M, you know, whatever. And then that's it. So it just makes things a little bit faster. Okay, so there's 7. So now we're done with the minors. Can now move on. And as I said, the stats don't change between the different tiers, which is kind of strange to me, but I thought they would change, but apparently they're the same from tier 1 all the way up to tier 10. So now we have the majors. So you'll see I have 3 here. So if this does in fact go, for whatever reason, not work on the final one, I'll know that bug that my friend, I was going to say coworker, sorry. My friend on Android Global is having this exact same issue. She crafted 3 of them, and she tiered up to tier 9, and then she couldn't find it again. The third one was there, she couldn't find it. Did it again, did it again, did it again. She actually crafted 4 of them before it finally worked. I'm hoping that doesn't happen here, because that would be irritating. And then everyone wouldn't be able to see the final product here. Okay, so there's tier 8, and there's tier 9. Doobie-doo. Slow. Okay. We'll go to here to water, and finally, hopefully this works. Tier 9. And it's working. Hooray. Okay, good. What? Well, it's just, I guess, I get a little bit of a lag. Sorry. I was a little freaked out there for a second. So there's tier 10. So now, if I go to, let me go back out to here. We're going to go enhance armors. Go to water and water. That's going to be right there at the top left, or the top left. Got the view set details. Now you can see tier 10 ring, tier 10 amulet. And that will be that. So that's the armor all ready to set to go. So if I hit enhance here, let's hit switch to water here. I'm not sure how much she has to enhance with. I guess I can just use up a bunch of her older armors here just to start off with. Just get rid of a bunch of these kind of minor ones that we're not too concerned about. I'm not going to mess with her existing armors too much, other than just get rid of some of her lower level armors she likely will not be using. Okay, so I may end up having to do more to this, but at least we'll be getting most of the way there. So, as I said though, the majority of the rest of this video is just going to be enhancements, so if you're not too concerned about that, you can just not watch, but I don't want to waste all of her fusion boosts either. But I do want to get it up to at least level 99 so everyone can see what it looks like. I'm sure people have probably seen pictures online already, but I do want to get it as close to it maxed as I possibly can. What do we have here? We have for spares. Her armors, her fusion boosts are exhausted. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to use these, but it'll work, I suppose. So there it is, past level 50. You can see we're already getting up into the 10,000 range at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get that up as close as we can. Ooh, almost there. Let's go to here and just finish off these guys here, and that should hopefully be it. We shouldn't have to do any more enhancing here. And done. Okay, so there's the armor. And we just have to enhance the ring and we'll be done. The ring and amulet, rather, both. I'm recording a video. I'll be done in just a minute. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Sorry, my wife was, or my daughter was asking a question. So, okay, so that's that. This is most of the way up, actually, and then we just got to finish with a couple more of these, I think. That should be enough. Should get us up to 99 at least. Then we can equip the armor and see what it looks like. And there is level 99. Okay. Now we're going to enhance the amulet the same way, and we'll be done. And I'll equip it on on her main knight here, just so you can see what it looks like. We have, let's see here. We have 1, 2. I hate that it does this flipping of sorts. It just changes it around. So I have to constantly pay attention to what I'm doing. Or I accidentally select the wrong ones. Okay, and then we have 1, 2. That should be it. And then we're done. Okay, so now I'm going to switch out to here. We're going to go over to her main knight, which she does of course have the exclusive for the current month. But we're going to swap that. We're going to switch it over to our Zephyr here, and Zephyr ring and Zephyr amulet. And there it is. That's the amulet, ring, and set and everything. That's without ascension. That's just the level 99 stats on all three. And that is it. So now you have a walkthrough / tutorial on how to do all of this. And that is it for me for the evening. Everyone have a great night. I'll be uploading this to YouTube shortly. Thanks.